Welcome to Lifestyle with Dr. Moby. I'm Dr. Moby, and today we have great guest. Let's welcome Kelly Edwards.
Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for logging in. Opportunity to discuss about yourself.
Yes.
So, tell me about yourself.
Yes, so my name is Kelly Edwards, and I am the owner and founder of the Business Shower. The Business Shower is a events management company, and it's also a podcast for business owners.
Mhm.
So for my podcast, I pretty much will talk to my guests about how they got started, what inspired them to get started, and kind of what their story is. And as far as the Business Shower events, it was a series of events in person where people could come out and kind of have like a soft launch party for their business. But, with the pandemic and capacities in place, I haven't really had another shower, but we are planning a virtual business shower coming up soon.
Okay, very nice, very nice. So, tell me about. I know you asked this question to everybody how they started. So, how
Mhm.
about you? Now we have to ask you.
Yes. So it started because I always wanted to do an events management company. I just didn't know what it was called. And I saw this meme going around Facebook, and it was just like, why don't we have business showers instead of baby showers and bridal showers and all that stuff? So I was just like, this seems like a good idea. So, I did some research, and then I just came up with the concept. The podcast was always in something that I always was going to do. But with the pandemic happening, it kind of forced me to do it because it was just like I didn't want to shut down my business just because of this pandemic. So I had to find a way to pivot during that moment, and that's what I did.
Okay. So basically, with the COVID, do you think that made it better for your podcasting, or kind of put you more towards that?
Yeah, it did push me more towards it because I kept saying to myself that after maybe like 2 years, I was going to start the podcast. But clearly, God had other plans. He was just like, no, you're going to do it now.
Oh,
So, yeah,
and
that's
what
why.
was the reaction for your friends and family?
Oh, they were excited for it. They listened to it religiously. Yes.
And that is a great thing, as you know. And we, when we start podcasting, you need all the, really
Support.
people who are, yeah, who can support you initially. And
Exactly.
once you take off, then sky's the limit. But still, I think you remember those people who really help you initially.
Absolutely.
Also, tell me about about some of the business topics you discuss.
Yes, so pretty much we've had different type of guests on our show. We had artists, we had writers, we had other podcasters on our show. So the different type of topics we discuss are pretty much how'd you get started, what inspired you to get started, who influenced you to get started, and just kind of tell your story. And the reason for that is I just want people to know, no matter what type of background you come from,
Mhm.
or what may have happened in your life, you can still become successful because these people are like living proof of becoming successful. And some of the people, they share their stories, and it's just like, wow, you went through all of that and now you're here. That's amazing. So yeah, I'm just trying to kind of inspire everyone to keep going.
And that is so true. And a
Hmm.
lot of people don't realize, but everybody starts low. Everybody is like us, ordinary people making
Exactly.
extraordinary journeys. And that's what I think it's all about. Is we actually learn from each other so much. Listening to,
Absolutely.
and then I think that's what really motivates. I mean, at least motivates me listening to
Yeah.
so many podcaster
Hmm.
and how they do and what they do, and it's amazing journey. So I've met so many people with mine too. So, and I love they share, they're really unique. Everybody has a unique aspect to their success,
Hmm.
as well as if they are still in journey, which is normal. I think that's how it is. So that's how it should be.
Exactly, exactly.
So tell me a little bit about what things with COVID. There's like two sides. The most businesses, I would say, got really hit hard, and some really flourished too. So tell me about what was that? What was with the COVID when you first learned, and how did you deal with it?
Yeah. So when COVID first hit, um, it was a little shocker,
Mhm.
because I was one of those people who did not really, I believed that it was real, but I didn't see the effects of it until I lost a family member to it.
Oh,
And then I had another family member that was in a hospital. And during that time, she was in a hospital. I had her granddaughter. And I don't have any kids. So to have this 4-year old invade my home,
oh,
it was very interesting. So yeah, I had that. And then at the same time, when COVID hit, I lost my full time job. So I went from having being a business owner and doing this part time to being pushed into it full time during the pandemic. And it was really interesting because not only in this business that I have to pivot, I also have a real estate investing company that I was just getting started and I was just learning. And I was kind of forced into it fast. During the pandemic as well. So a lot of interesting good changes happened during this pandemic.
hmm. And that is true. There are two sides, and of course, it is sadness, and also lot of people lost their
Yeah.
lives also, and there are people fighting, and then also there are economic setbacks. A lot of people lost jobs, a lot of
Hmm.
businesses.
Hmm. Yeah, that definitely did happen, and it happened to me.
Mm.
So thankfully, when I did get laid off, I had been there so long that I was sent away with a severance package. So I was good for a little while. Yeah, and then I started making money in my business, so it just became better.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Also, I want to ask you, things with being a minority, and myself and yourself, and with what it is about business. Certain businesses, we have actually the worst track record in terms of unemployment, health, and so forth.
Hmm.
So tell me, why is that? Why we have still struggling with these?
Yeah, so I honestly I ask that question to myself every day, like why certain minorities struggle with being not being able to access certain things that other people could access. I ask myself this every day.
Hmm.
Um, and I feel like it's just the world that we live in. Unfortunately, it completely sucks.
Hmm.
Um, that we don't get the same type of we don't get the same type of views and different things like that because of the color of our skin. And not to bring this to light, but me being a black woman is even worse, to come into the business aspect, and then especially to try to dominate the real estate market as well, because that is predominantly a male driven industry. So you have a woman calling you, asking you to purchase your home and, do all these things. It's very, I get a lot of, you're not a real estate investor. No, you're not. Like, I get a lot of that. And it's like, why am I not? So yeah, it's definitely a struggle. And I ask myself that question every day. I don't know why, this has continued to happen, especially in this day and age, but it does. And I don't know if it's ever going to change. I think we're just gonna have to like push through it and
Yeah.
do what we can.
Yeah, and that's probably the right answer
Hmm.
to what I think too. That's true. We can live with that and say, we yes, that we have a sad situation. That's true, but unfortunately, also that does not help our situation. So
No.
we still have to you do something about it and just find a solution. So that is so true. Also, other very important thing is, I see, being a physician,
Hmm.
is just lot of yeah, problem health wise. Health issues, big time, between there's a big discrepancy between minority health as well as others. So a lot of research and is done actually on others, and so minorities actually, those are they are really behind, and which is
Yeah.
sad, which is very sad,
Yeah, it is.
because they have economical disadvantage, and also they have
Hmm.
health disadvantage, which is again double whammy. So
Yeah. I mean, exactly. And they say that African Americans are prone to diabetes, which I believe science has proved that to be true. But it can be something that can be managed. We got to watch what we eat, and unfortunately, we live in a world where they put so many products and stuff in our food, but we still have to like learn how to eat healthy, and it's hard. Trust me, it's hard. I just had Chinese food, so that was not eating healthy. But
okay,
you
let me also help that, because what is happening is because of the financial inequalities, I would say. Then they don't have enough money to buy very healthy products. Okay,
exactly.
so they will go with the fast food and those things which are not really very healthy. So because they want to save some money and just do so I think there is also that a factor too. But
Yeah.
I think I make a point to teach everyone. It doesn't matter whether minority or not.
Yeah.
I say, rules are same for everyone.
Exactly.
Some of us are have a big disadvantage,
Hmm.
so some have little more advantage. But at the end, it all matters. Your journey depends on if you eat healthy, if you exercise, and if you engage in good activities.
Hmm.
um, you know Regarding your sleep. So if you can't, rules are same for everyone, but maybe somebody could have a little bit advantage or disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I think in the end, I would just basically emphasize on those. So I think it's for awareness to kind of bring this topic again and again, uh,
Yeah.
to make sure don't ignore that. And also role models. I mean, like yourself, you are a role model for a
Hmm.
lot of your community as well as others, of course, both. That look, if you can do it, positive things, and which you are doing, and
Hmm.
great thing. And we all have headwind, we all have difficulties, but you know what? At the end of the day, we think, okay, we are going to pass that test. We are going to fly above that, and we will just. So I think that's what speaks volume.
Hmm.
And it really, I had to struggle all this too. Here, we face all the time, which is normal.
Hmm.
But that we don't give up. We don't give up. Yeah, I think,
Hmm.
because if we give up, then that is means that was the end of, right? We thought.
Exactly. 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 Yeah, no, I don't. I try not to give up. I might give up in my head, but I won't say it out loud.
Yeah, and but you always find there are good people too. I mean, it's not everybody's. So of course there are good people, and you always connect with someone who is at least nicer to than others, which is normal. I mean,
Yeah.
I think everywhere there are some good people and some not so good, but that's okay. So
Hmm.
that's the reality. So also tell me, what do you see in few years? Is the COVID gonna be gone?
Uh, I don't know. I hope it's gone. I really do hope it's gone. I mean, I was one of the test dummies, so I did get the vaccine. But didn't want to get it, but I got it. But yeah, so I'm hoping COVID will be gone soon or later. Hopefully, it just becomes like the flu, a really bad flu.
Mm.
because we all know that the flu comes around every year and we just don't want to get it, right?
Mm.
So I'm hoping that in a few years that would be that. But I am like shocked that I lived through a pandemic. Like, I'm so shocked. I'm like, oh my God, I've lived through a pandemic. This is crazy.
That is true. That's
Yeah.
true. I mean,
Yeah.
we went through a kind of nightmare scenario here.
Yes, it
We
was.
almost have light at the end of tunnel yet. So, but I think also is when we look back, we'll say, "Oh my God, we lived through that." Oh, that was it. And I think we used to read about pandemic of
Yes,
1900s, and we say, "Oh my God, that was it." Well, guess what? We went through that, ladies and gentlemen.
exactly. I get to tell my grandkids how I had to go paper. Yes, I can't wait to tell that story.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then they'll say, "Oh, you were wearing mask." So,
Yeah,
the question is, it's funny. A lot of people I tell, in 1900s, they were wearing masks and all that. Look at 100 years passed by, and we're still doing that. So,
yeah.
100 years, technology won't change much either. So,
No, it won't.
and there were 500,000 or so cases. People died at that time, and then still. So,
Yeah, I didn't even know they were wearing masks back then. I didn't know that. I didn't know that until I saw someone post a picture, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is like history repeating itself." So yeah.
yeah. Yeah, he's repeating himself.
Mhm.
So, what about the businesses? So, any advice for the business world, which you think we should do?
Yeah, so advice, just stay consistent. That's a big one. You always want to stay consistent. You don't want to give up.
Mhm.
And don't be afraid to either pay for education or seek education, because I've learned that you don't know everything, even though you think you know everything, you do not. So, if you could pay someone to come into your business, if you have it, pay them to coach you, do it, because they'll show you things that has worked for them and they're successful at this. So, you kind of you want that extra push, and then it'll also be some accountability for you as well.
Mhm.
So just do it.
That's true. We learn from each other, and yeah, there is and so certain aspect of, I would say, business is very huge is marketing as well as social
Yes.
media. So,
Yes.
if that's not your strongest point, then hire or get some advice about it.
Yes. Exactly.
Don't not do not try. Those days are gone when you don't rely on social media. I mean, now we have to live and learn about it. So
Exactly.
those are, I think, essential parts of right now the business world.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay. So anything, also I want to ask you, those people who are starting business or thinking about business,
Mhm.
what are some of the resources you find that are helpful at the beginning?
Yeah, so I used a lot of resources in my state. This is for anybody who lives into New Jersey. I'm sure every state is like this, but I live in New Jersey. So New Jersey has the New Jersey State Business Organization. Um, they used to have different business training on site at the local libraries, but now I believe because of COVID, they're doing this remotely on Zoom. So you want to check them out because they helped me set up my business from finish to start. And they also let me know what I needed to do as far as paying my taxes and different things like that. The other thing that helped me out was the Small Business Association of New Jersey.
Mhm.
They also helped me out too. They're located in Newark, New Jersey. But I believe due to the pandemic, they're doing virtual trainings. And then another resource that helped me out was I believe it's the WOCE, but it's women's. organization for business owners, I believe. Yes. And they help me out a lot too. They do a lot of training on like marketing, and different things like that. And as far as real estate, I literally hired a mentor. I hired a mentor, and that's kind of how I got started, and that's how I learned that business because I wasn't gonna learn it off of YouTube. So yeah.
Okay. So for the business, tell me what was helpful. Small business.
Yes. So the small business, the small business organization, they helped me write my business plan. They connected me to people that could help me with my marketing. They connected me to people that helped me with accounting and different things like that. So they connected me with a lot of people, and they also do like trainings for small business owners, like how to use QuickBooks, how to enter things into QuickBooks, how to market your business on Facebook, how to market your business free on Facebook. So it was like a lot of good workshops that they did that I just took to learn how to grow my business. And that's why I'm here.
Okay, very good, very good. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So, yeah. So tell us about your website and podcast, so if people want to check it out.
Yes, so you could find us on the web at www.thebusinessshowerevents.com. And on there it'll show the links to the podcast. But the podcast is on Spotify, it is on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and then you can also follow me on Instagram or Facebook at the Business Shower Events is
Okay.
the hashtag.
Okay, very nice.
Mhm.
And thank you for coming to our show and
Thank
giving us,
you.
yeah, giving us a great tips, and especially people who are starting or thinking to start. A few things. It's never too late to start, so it doesn't matter what your age
Yeah,
group is.
just
You
do
can
it.
start anytime, anytime. And
Exactly.
don't worry if you don't make money or in a year or so.
No.
It takes time, and then but important thing is you need to learn and be comfortable with what you have, and
Absolutely.
that is just basic. Keep growing, and me as well as her, we are also not many years into it, but we
Mhm.
are still believe in ourselves, and we think we can make progress gradually. And I think I you have to learn every day pretty much, and keep yourself open. So that is highly recommended here too. Well, anyways, thank you for
Exactly.
coming.
Thank you.
Take care. Take care. Thank you for coming.